get a lot of viewer feedback from people who watch Muscle Car of the Week, and every once in a while we like to take a minute to take a look at some of the more unique emails and comments, maybe answer some questions or provide a little more insight to those comments. So that's what today's episode is. Our first comment is in reference to episode 87, where we featured a 289 K-Code Fastback Mustang in bright red. And people really liked the feature, but they wanted to hear more of this car running. So just because you asked for it, here is some sound of how that sweet 289 cubic inch Hypo V8 sounds. The next one refers to one of our most recent episodes, episode 96, the Mod Top Barracuda. And we knew this would be a fairly controversial episode because this car isn't the fastest one ever built, and it does have a crazy flowered top on it. And we got more positive comments than negative, so that was good. But at the end, I posed the question saying, hey, could you imagine ordering up a new Dart with a mod top or a mod interior? And what I meant was, today in 2015, could you imagine buying a brand new Dart, not one back in the 60s? Because I don't think mod tops came on Darts. So we've decided to clarify that just a little bit. Back in episode 92, we showed a 427 R code 67 LTD, and one of the comments talked about the one-of-one four-door 67 LTD built with the 427, and somebody said that they had a copy of an ad where that car turned up for sale in Hemmings Motor News magazine, and we actually found a copy of what that ad looks like thanks to the person who responded. Kind of neat. I don't know if it's legit or not, but it's always cool to see these oddballs. Next, from episode 93, the 1970 GTO Judge 4-speed Ram Air convertible car with the Ram Air 4 engine under the hood. Very, very cool car. We've got a lot of positive feedback on that one, and an interesting letter from a guy named Jim who watches the show on lateralg.net. And he said he had 3 uncles that built these cars as new back at the Lakewood GM plant. And his uncle Gordon was in charge of lining up the Endura bumper and all the front sheet metal and the hood. And he asked his uncle many years ago what the measuring device was that they used to gauge, when this stuff was fitting properly. And his quote was they used a business card. And when they could slide a business card between the fenders and across the hood with very, very little resistance, then it was ready. So Jim had commented about the excellent fit and finish of this 1970 GTO. Jim, thank you for the very cool story. We love to hear firsthand family experiences with these cars when they were being built and from back in the day. Thanks for the feedback. Next, we go all the way back to episode number 8 with the 34.2-mile 1970 Chevelle LS6454 car. The controversy continues whether people are concerned about this car being legit or not. So you're welcome to go back and review episode 8, take a look at the long list of comments, and if you had feedback, go ahead and post them up there, because it is a very controversial but very interesting car. Another general comment we get is people want to see more driving shots. And this is kind of challenging because, as you can see, we are in episode 97 right now, and we've done about 95 cars with a couple different viewer mail episodes. And these cars are not all currently registered with current license plates to be driven on the street every day. It's just such a large collection, it's pretty hard to do something like that, especially when you have cars that are very, very unique and very, very rare and expensive. So we have a limited area where it's safe to drive them. I wish we could take them out on public highways and really wind them out, but in a lot of cases it just doesn't make sense. So we bring you as much driving footage as we can, and we have a few tricks up our sleeve to increase that for some future episodes. You'll have to stay tuned. We've got a note on episode 82, which is our interview with Stan Atlaser with the world's fastest Pontiac Tempest. People want to hear more of that story, and if you go to our website called v8radio.com, you'll get a copy of the full, unedited interview with Stan in a podcast format. It's the full length, so you can either listen to it right on your computer or download it or subscribe to that podcast at v8radio.com. Somebody commented about episode number 67, where we featured the 427 powered 66 Chevy Impala two-door. Very, very cool car, but there's been some chatter about the dog dish wheel covers. And in fact, the car did have a spinner type hubcap when it rolled off the assembly line many years ago. But today, it has a dog dish cap with a steel wheel. That is something that the previous owner changed. The original hubcaps are still with the car. It was just a little styling preference. And finally, people always ask, where can they see the cars? Well, this year, if you want to do a little traveling in November, the Muscle Car and Corvette National Show in Chicago is held between November 21st and 22nd at the Donald Stevens Center just outside of O'Hare Airport, basically. And the Brothers Collection is actually a sponsor of one of the themed displays this year. There is a Chrysler Hemi E-Body convertible display where they're going to have over 20 1970 and 71 Hemi Cuda convertibles and 1970 Dodge Challenger RT convertible Hemi cars. It could be one of the biggest assemblances of these type of cars ever. So you want to mark your calendar to go see some of these cars, because I think some of the cars we featured here on Muscle Car of the Week from the Brothers Collection will be in that display. And of course, the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is a great show to go to no matter what kind of muscle car you like. They're going to have a whole row of 70 GS 455 Stage 1 4-speed convertibles on display this year. They've got a 1965 Z16 Chevelle Invitational planned with multiples of those cars, and a class of 1970 display where they're going to have the hottest muscle cars from all the big three automakers and AMC. So it's November 21st and 22nd. Lots of Fords, lots of Corvettes, anything a muscle car fan would want to see. And you can learn more about that show at mcacn.com, which is the acronym for the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. And if you want to leave a comment or feedback on any of our videos, you can either do it on the YouTube comments page. Facebook has a place where you can leave comments, and we do have a comment form on our website at musclecaroftheweek.com. And we've got another awesome muscle car for you next week. And thanks for watching.